SHAMEA fans who said that she ate and had a great and fantastic reunion, where are y'all at? Where are y'all at? Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 17 Reunion Part 3, you guys. And ultimately, I am glad this is over so that we can focus all of our attention on the upcoming ATL episodes of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I owe you guys 2 reviews on that. So, look for that at some point this week. And ultimately, you guys, SHAMEA flopped. SHAMEA fumbled. When PORSHA was giving Andy Cohen that DEATH stare, it was a wrap for SHAMEA. It was a wrap for SHAMEA. SHAMEA lies and lies just to lie so much that she does not even remember the lies that she tells. You know what I'm saying? First, she projects everything that she starts with the cast, whether it's Angela Oakley and the cheating rumors or just picking on Drew Sidora just to pick on her. She victimizes herself and convinces herself in her mind that it's everybody that did something to her first. No. She lied about never talking about PORSHA behind her back. PORSHA's couch was like, that is a lie. You've been doing that since a friend of. Even Kenya has said so. Nene has said so. Sheree had said so. You know what I'm saying? And we know you have with the Candy Coated Click. We know you have with the Candy Coated Click. So this notion that you don't talk bad about PORSHA behind her back, but you were showing text messages between you and PORSHA since you were a friend of. So what does that mean? You were trying to get Kim Zolciak and Sheree and everybody to turn against PORSHA even as a friend of. You were sitting there where the Candy Coated Click is up there SLUT shaming your so-called bestie. Like, we got to keep it a buck. Were either of these ladies good friends to each other? No. But I firmly believe once PORSHA started to peep how SHAMEA was moving, she kept her at a distance. And that is it, and that is all. And the text messages that SHAMEA showed Andy Cohen made 0 sense. Made 0 sense. When was those text messages? From last season? Or was it, like, when was it? Because we know that you and PORSHA aren't talking at all. PORSHA said that friendship ended last year. That friendship was RIP 2025. You know what I'm saying? RIP 2025. So all those text messages proved to me was that PORSHA was right. That it's not a good look for you to be on the show as a peach holder, that you were going to go against PORSHA, and you guys are no longer friends anymore. Where is the lie? But you got to stop showing text messages. You did it last season with Britt Eady. You got to stop talking about PORSHA behind her back. You talked about her to all those other housewives that are there. I don't know why Kelly and you keep lying that y'all don't talk about PORSHA. There is 0 reason for Kelly to have all this energy specifically for PORSHA ever since her first episode as a peach, season 16. Makes 0 sense. And you sitting right there in that first scene with Kelly and Britt Eady as she is questioning why PORSHA and Simon and everything else. You knew what you were doing. But you're trying to present it as though you didn't know. That that's not who you are, that is who you are, SHAMEA. Just like you got exposed with what K. Michelle revealed the other day on her live stream, that you were talking about Candy behind her back. And when K. Michelle put it on blast on the show, you weren't expecting it to make it to the show. You got a call. Somebody contacted you, whether it was Candy, Rashida, or Toya, to let you know what is going on. What is happening here? And you tried to clean it up on Carlos King. People still didn't buy it. But from what K. Michelle is saying, it sounds like you tried to flip the narrative. You tried to flip from bragging about going to hang out with Candy and friends, but then saying your friends in ATL don't rock with K. Michelle like that. They ain't feeling K. Michelle like that. Why would you need to make such a comment like that? And then later on try to clean it up and make it seem as though that you were just hoping to bridge the gap and hoping that maybe Candy and, K. Michelle could be friends or all this and all of that. I am just of confusion. I am just of confusion why K. Michelle needs to be friends with Candy, and why are you trying to forge any type of mending of fences involving Rashida and Toya and K. Michelle. It's not your place, it's not your business, but that was the damage control that you were attempting to do every time you get caught in lies. Just like you got caught in the lie with Angela Oakley and the picture. You're claiming you don't know that person, you never saw that picture, and Angela Oakley's like, but I did show you the picture. You did see it before. So I don't understand how SHAMEA could come back to a show like this if she lies and lies just to lie. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, tries to have amnesia and then they have to roll the tape. And then there's no explanation. And then you give these phony apologies. You go to PORSHA's couch and hug everybody over there except for PORSHA. But my thing is, how can you sit over there and hug those ladies and there's cheating allegations against your husband? Let Charles Oakley tell it. You're moving like Barry Sanders out there in the ATL streets. Barry Sanders is a big-time former NFL running back, basically running through these people, running out here, allegedly, right? And then hugging Cynthia after you and Kelly went on that smear campaign on all those podcasts about that room in Dallas. And y'all wouldn't let it go. That smear campaign you continued on with Drew Sidora, and I'm glad you admitted that you making the allegations that she allegedly slept with Dennis had nothing to do with PORSHA. You were just trying to see how low and dirty you could get. But all of it to me is weirdo behavior as far as I am concerned. And I just don't know how realistically SHAMEA can move forward with the cast. Because ultimately, I don't buy the fake stuff that she's doing with Drew Sidora right now. All up in her likes, all up in her comments. I'm not buying it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not featuring it. I also am not buying, you know what I'm saying, this resolution with Angela Oakley, because ultimately the resolution of the cease and desist was really, you're not going to take legal action. You just wanted her to shut up for the reunion so that she couldn't amplify those allegations. But when you were a friend of, when Phaedra put it out there at you being at the St. Regis back in season 9, when Britt Eady put out there last season, and that's why I wish Britt Eady went to the reunion so she could put it fully on blast on what it is. You know how you're moving, SHAMEA. You're not happy in that marriage. You are not happy at all in that marriage. But what's happened is you and Kelly think, okay, if I keep doing interviews, if I keep saying the opposite of what people are seeing for real on social media, I can flip the narrative. I can flip the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That is what it is, you guys. But ultimately, something has to give. When the people said, Gerald's not around, Gerald doesn't want to be affiliated with the show, finally for the first time, Gerald appears at the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip premiere and meets Andy Cohen for the first time. Because you knew that you had a bad reunion. But also you were there to stalk PORSHA, because I believe that you have an obsession with PORSHA, and I'm glad that PORSHA shut down any talk of her mom or Pilar. But SHAMEA lied about her mom not being aware of what happened in the Scotland episode, because you sat there on Watch What Happens Live and said after the fact that she did see it, that she was upset of everything that took place, that your family was very upset because you had your cousin come out as well and tried to SLUT shame PORSHA. So it didn't go the way, this reunion did not go the way that you wanted it to, and that is why you and Kelly are trying so hard to push Kandi back on the show, but I don't know if Kandi really wants to be back. I thought the real reason that she was not offered a page for season 16, I thought it was because ultimately she's too expensive. She was allegedly making over $2 million a season. So I believe if they did offer her something, it was going to be a friend of role or a smaller salary than what she was getting. And Kandi was like, HELL, no, I'm trying to get this EGOT. I'm trying to get this Tony Award on Broadway. But we keep talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta and Kandi because she released an interview with Pinky last night. But SHAMEA, you've got to figure something else out. You've got to do something else because the way that things are going, it's not looking good for you. It is. I don't know how you can come back to season 18 if you have a big falling out with K. Michelle. PORSHA wants nothing to do with you. You are DEAD to her. You went too far and you knew that you went too far. So ultimately, you're going to be in a fake friendship with, Drew all of a sudden when she's the low-hanging fruit for a lot of y'all to attack her. Like, what is the end game here? What is the goal? What is the objective? What is, the result here? And Cynthia, she'll get along with everyone as long as you're not talking cash SHIT about her. You know what I'm saying? But even Pinky's face when she saw SHAMEA get up and hug those ladies, she couldn't believe it. Because you sat here and went on this victim tour, SHAMEA, that the cast hated you, that you were being isolated, that you believe you're being treated this way because of colorism, and that they're all bullies. But why are you going to go hug all of your bullies? Like the math is not mathing. And see, what's going to happen is SHAMEA's going to listen to all this commentary and all the backlash, and she's going to try to switch it up again because she does not have an original thought or an original idea and everything else. But the thing of it is, the real fact of the matter is, things did not have to be this bad with PORSHA when it was all said and done. PORSHA still could have existed with SHAMEA on this show. SHAMEA and PORSHA never had any scenes together this season outside of the group scenes. And PORSHA still included SHAMEA in events that she put on. But SHAMEA did not want to include PORSHA in events that she put on. Because I think you were hoping that you could try to isolate and take down PORSHA, and that failed, and that flopped, and that didn't work. And then also trying to use Dennis and Pilar against PORSHA, trying to use y'all mom's beef against PORSHA, and you gotta stop repeating back what the last person said to you, because that's not your original thought or your original opinion. PORSHA says that you looked at her with endearing eyes. Here you go saying endearing eyes. No. What is your real thoughts, SHAMEA? What is your real opinions? That is what the people are talking about. Like, it gets to a point. It gets to an absolute point. Like what are we saying? I don't believe SHAMEA wanted this friendship to end. She was jealous. The straw that broke the camel's back is SHAMEA seeing PORSHA and Kelly get along, and PORSHA buying Kelly, you know what I'm saying, spending some money on the people. That's what really set off SHAMEA. She felt like she had to do something because she did not see a way out, that this was going to work for her, that this was going to benefit her. You know what I'm saying? If PORSHA is getting along with everybody, that SHAMEA didn't want to get along with PORSHA. And so she had to go the nuclear route. She had to choose the nuclear option, and it was a disaster. It was a disaster. But SHAMEA thought in burning everything to the ground that was going to get the housewives on her side. And it didn't work. The housewives were disgusted. You lost K. Michelle right then and there. Really, real talk, you lost K. Michelle right then and there. And then when y'all tried to have that pre-reunion meeting, you really just kind of buried that friendship at that meeting because K. Michelle was not going to do what you wanted her to do. Or try to clean up the messes that you start. And as far as I'm sad to hear that the surrogate, you know what I'm saying, had a miscarriage. But this is another aspect. I believe some people are going to try to believe her surrogacy issues and her problems in her marriage and this and that. This is why she has so much venom for PORSHA. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think SHAMEA Ben had an issue with PORSHA before even getting her peach. And it's convenient that, you know, all of these other things are happening that's taking place. But I don't believe that's the source. Because it sounds like ever since SHAMEA has been a part of this show, she's been trying to look for a way to take down PORSHA because there's zero reason, if you guys are so-called besties, you're friends with all of PORSHA's ops. And allegedly it's getting back to PORSHA that you're gossiping about her behind her back. So I believe SHAMEA and her mom has always wanted PORSHA's position on this show, PORSHA's status on this show, and they were going to do anything like cheat and steal to get it. Except for when you tried it on other housewives, it hasn't worked. All of these alliances for a second season in a row have turned on SHAMEA. And K. Michelle, you thought that was going to be the big ticket to go after PORSHA. She turned on you. She said absolutely not. So, like I said, I just don't see a situation. I would be shocked if SHAMEA is back for season 18 because I believe these next couple of episodes that's going to showcase the OGs of Atlanta for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip should put a pin in SHAMEA coming back. Because fans are going to demand, hey, we'd rather see, you know what I'm saying, Sheree back or Kim Zolciak back, and especially Nene back, than Kelly and SHAMEA. But I feel like Kelly is cheap enough to bring back, especially since allegedly George and others are going to be trying to garnish those wages of Kelly's. So you know what I'm saying? It's no stress on Bravo to bring back Kelly. That'll be your antagonist against PORSHA. But SHAMEA really fumbled. I don't think Andy was happy with what happened in Scotland. They really set SHAMEA up to be promoted as PORSHA's best friend and them to run the table on this show, them to dominate on this show. And it just wasn't the case. SHAMEA was too busy focused in on creating an alliance than being PORSHA's bestie. And then eventually, Angela Oakley had to let PORSHA know what the real tea was, that ain't your friend. That ain't your bestie. A bestie should not be talking cash shit about you behind your back. That's not a best friend. So ultimately, that is it for this video, you guys. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor. I need y'all to do y'all biggest one. And that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's Todos es final. It's finito. Is he in the road? Is he in the line for this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.